the start of coming to Presqu'Ile was when we were younger. And we went to the dances here. There was an old dance floor left after they tore down the old hotel. And so George and I'd come out here to dance every time we could get out here. And they used to have a canteen and great music. So that's how we started to come to Presqu'Ile. But to camp at Presqu'Ile, it was a little later. They didn't have the camps they have now. So you could go and you could get a campsite wherever you could at that time, and it didn't cost you much. When we used to come out in the 53 and 54, we used to be able to go to the beach and just stay on the beach, take the cars down. Many people were doing the same thing. You found your little corner and you could swim and swim and swim way, way out. And George and I are always being competitive between the two of us. So if he swam out far enough, I was going to swim that far too. So he'd swim a little farther and I swam that far too. And then he'd swim a little farther and away we went. So finally when it was coming back, I didn't let him know, but I thought I'll never get back, and I floated most of the way. So we finally got back to the beach and we had our picture. We decided to take pictures of each other sitting on our old car.
And we liked it so much at Presqu'Ile Park that we decided we'd come every year.
I remembered when I was a young girl, I used to go camping with the Girl Guides. And I thought, well, why can't we go camping when we have children? So the neighbors and ourselves got together and we decided, hey, why can't we take all the kids and take our tents and away we go to the beach? So we used to pick up everything, and on Friday night, away we go over to the beach and have a great time through the weekend. And back we'd come home on Sunday, packing everything up again. So that's how we got into the camping part, and we've been camping ever since.
We've been coming to Presqu'Ile Park for approximately 61 years now. Our first camping trip, I think we started out with a tent and continued with a tent for quite a few years until we see everybody with these trailers and that, so I decided I'd build my own trailer. We had a box trailer, which we turned into a camping trailer. We didn't have a whole lot of room in it, but enough for two people.
Oh, I keep a diary, and I have for years and years and years. And I keep it from day to day. Just when we come out to Presqu'Ile, I keep track of who's come to visit, when, and who's going by sometimes, or I see, or, I just write everything down that I think it might interest me. So when I read later, I can remember all these nice moments. So, but my diaries I love to look back on, especially when the winter comes. I think, oh, it's nice to be back in Presqu'Ile again. Years ago, when we first came, we would get on our bikes and we would drive right through all over Presqu'Ile. And everywhere you went, you could see deer. And if you're very quiet and calm and patient, you would have them come right out of your hand and eat out of them. And there were so many of them. It was such a great treat to go on a ride every night to watch the deer and see where they were.
Eventually went from a trailer, we got into the motorhomes, and we camped in motorhomes for a few years, trading quite a few motorhomes, and now we end up with a motorhome with Country Air. It's a 38-foot long motorhome, and just right for two people. We have accommodation for other people, but we don't advertise that.
Every year our kids come out, and mostly on George's birthday, which is July the 13th. And it's a usual happening, and the kids wouldn't miss that. And so the year he turned 80, they went and they got a whole party set up out here. And they all came, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and some of the neighbors were invited too. And George's birthday cake, they took the picture of George sitting on the car in his bathing suit in 1954. It got it all imposed on the cake. It was so nice to have the whole family around us. Well, George was a gardener for years and years at home. He had the most beautiful gardens people would admire them. They'd come, you'd see them stop out in front of our place just to look at it. And he just loved being in the garden. He could grow vegetables like you wouldn't believe, but flowers were my thing that I loved to see. And when I was unable to get out and work like I used to, well, then he just took it over and he kept them up better than I could.
But before we came camping, we always kept flowers at our home, flower beds and vegetables, but mainly flowers. So when we come camping, I decided we'd bring part of our flowers to the campsite, mainly because of my wife Shirley. She likes them.
Well, if we have flowers, they're all his duty. And if the house cleaning is his duty, the dishes is his duty. I can't think of anything I have to do. Oh yes, I do have to manage George. I have to make sure he gets everything done to my satisfaction. Amen.
Yeah, I'll say amen. I might say something I shouldn't.
This year, our son George Jr. organized a family reunion at the pavilion up here, and a lot of people came, and it was the first year it ever happened. And we played old-fashioned games like put the egg on the spoon and try to get to the other side without dropping it, and three-legged man race, and different the old-time things, and everybody seemed to enjoy it. So we're hoping that continues other years too. So that's usually what we come back for. We keep in touch through the winter, and anything going on between us, well, we get to check it out. But most of all, we just love our friends, and they're so good to us now that we've got a little older. They got to look after us, and that's good.
On July the 1st, we were having a party, a get-together for our son, George. We had approximately 31 people. It was such a nice day that we decided we were going to eat outside. Before we got to eat, it started to rain. It rained so hard that it was coming in underneath the canopy, so we had to move everything into the motorhome. So that's 31 people in the motorhome, which we served dinner to, and I never thought that I would end up eating my dinner with my daughter Vivian in the bedroom. But that's the way it was, and we all had a good time, and everything went well.
You know, we've traveled for quite a few miles. We've gone as far west as Victoria, BC, all the way through to St. John, New Brunswick, and from Maine to New York City and through the northern states, from the northern part of Quebec down to Key West, Florida. We've enjoyed all the scenery and everything we've done and seen, but we always come back here because this is the only place we really, really want to be. So here we are back again for this year.
So I hope that we're able to come and continue coming for quite a few years yet.
I do too.